Partnerships is just numbers game. Once I was in an event and one guy said, partnership doesn't work. I said, okay, tell me why. I met 5 partners, nothing happened. If somebody expects that each meeting is gonna have a positive output.
I'm delighted to be joined by Nick Penev from Hello Tax and Scale Partnership.
Some people tell me, yeah, we have enough partners. Okay, I'll give an example. We have a big partner, we work with Amazon. Okay, what happens if Amazon decides to stop partnering with you tomorrow?
What's your way to work out which partner's the best fit for that particular client?
The people who...
How important or do you use kind of white labeling?
White labeling is good because it allows you to...
So welcome back to the next episode of the Seller's Journey podcast. I'm delighted to be joined by Nick Penev from Hello Tax and Scale Partnerships. Welcome along, Nick. Nice to have you.
Okay, thanks, and no, all good, man. I haven't been to any podcast for a long time. Even though I do webinars, I rarely go and speak on podcasts. So it's just an exception for you and some other guys that accept the invitation. So even though I do a lot of webinars, I don't want to speak too much. I mean, I'm a lazy guy. I prefer to have people speak on my stuff instead of chatting myself.
Yeah, that's cool. You've got so much knowledge, so much experience. We are really honoured to have you on and really looking forward to getting into the conversation. Just before we kick off, the very few people in the industry that don't know who you are, can you give yourself a bit of an introduction, just let people know what you do and what it is you're looking to achieve?
Okay, man. So long story short, I mean, I've been selling stuff since kindergarten and all that. No joke. I used to be a prodigy kid when I was in kindergarten. I was painting great pictures. I was actually going to a course with university students when I was in kindergarten. So
no way.
I mean, I was great artist, whatever. So, but I was hustler at the same time. So what I was doing in kindergarten, I was drawing, pictures for the kids. Hey, Nick, can you draw me a horse? Of course, here is a horse. Can you draw me a goat? Here, okay, give me 5 cents. I'm from Bulgaria, so it's not cents, it's called stutinki. This is like, is the equivalent of cents. So anyways, and then, one day, I'm not sure how you call them, like the aunties, the woman who are taking care of the kids in the kindergarten, they actually found like a jar full of pennies, and they called my parents, and that was end of the communism. And they said, okay, man, did you guys teach your son to do this capitalist bullshit? I mean, why he's doing that? And then they seized, my assets, and my hustle was actually taken down. But long story short, I mean, so I've been selling stuff since I can remember, and I was running an e-com business in like 2010 to 2020. Private label supplements, we started with one, we had 20 at the peak. Me and 2 co-founders, we sold everything. We had like 25 million in the peak. So partnerships is what I've been doing probably in the last 10 years. And it happened by accident. We used to do a lot of like Facebook advertising. We get a lot of suspensions and eventually we said, okay, man, we're going to stop doing any paid ads. We're going to pivot to partnerships. And since then, I haven't spent a single dollar in paid advertising. Then by accident, I got offered by this company, Hello Tax, to advise them about partnerships. And because I was using them as a client, I said, okay, man, taxes sounds boring, but I like partnerships. So by accident, I actually started advising Hello Tax on the partnership side. So, and that's what I've been doing like the last 5 years now. They were actually my first client. Then people started asking me, oh, can you help with partnerships? And I built a company which provides partnership as a service. In other words, we're teaching companies in the Amazon space, like agency founders, Amazon SaaS, like some D2C SaaS and apps, how to use the partnership as a growth channel without spending any money on marketing. So zero. That's what I do. So we're using partnership. We grow that. We do all kind of stuff to collaborate and eventually build my newsletter. I have a newsletter like 30,000 sellers. I do webinar hack series every 2 months with 15-20 speakers. Your speaker on one of those tomorrow. We're going to have close to like 2,000 people who sign up for those. So I'm always trying to do stuff which involves a lot of people doing joint effort, getting some results and getting some output without spending any money. So I'm a cheap peep and I'm kind of, I like to do stuff with people because I hate paid ads. I hate logistics. That's one of the reasons why we stopped the e-com business. I was sick of all this inventory stuff. But long story short is partnership is all the stuff that I do right now. And of course, I have a community with 2,000 partners. You're part of it. A WhatsApp group which has no rules. And I guess, I like the stuff that I do. So I've been remote for like 15 years. So long before, it was cool. I would spend the summers on the beach. And of course, I need to go back to my no beach place for the winter because kids need to go to school. That's what my wife tells me. I don't agree with her, but I don't call the shots at home. So, and that's a long story short what they do.
I mean, that's incredible. What a career state. I think something I'm really interested to kind of dive into a little bit more is kind of partnerships element. As you know, that's an area that I'm kind of focusing on at the moment. I find it really, really tricky because there's lots of different people that want to speak to you. So actually kind of opening the doors to partnership is relatively straightforward. We've got some great relationships in the industry and there's lots of people that you want to work with you. The thing that I'm kind of finding a little bit difficult is actually kind of getting at the forefront of their kind of conversations and actually kind of generating business from it. What's your kind of secret? What's your kind of advice for businesses in a similar position?
Yeah, partnerships is just numbers game. Once I was at an event and one guy said, partnership doesn't work. And I said, okay, tell me why. I met 5 partners, nothing happened. I said, okay, man, we didn't even try now. So meet 100 partners, you're gonna end up doing stuff with 20. If somebody expects that each meeting is gonna have a positive output, that's bullshit. This never gonna happen in any business. So usually partnerships are like that. You meet 100 partners, you end up doing real stuff with 20 of them. So 20% is a good number. So how can you make it work? So you kind of set the same rules. So what I don't mind, anybody who I meet, I expect the same from you. So what we do, we schedule a meeting, you show up. If you don't show up, that's a big red flag. I usually give guys a second chance. I'm like Jesus, even though I'm not religious. They can swap me one more time with a no-show. If they do that, I'm never gonna bother with them. But we meet. So I'm gonna give you 50, 20, 30 minutes of my time. I expect the same from you. You tell me what to do, I tell you what to do. We kind of see the overlap. If there's no overlap, I tell you, okay, man, that's what we can do. First thing, we can feature in our website. If you do that, we can do the same. We can do a social swap. We can do a newsletter swap. You're gonna promote us, we're gonna promote you. If you have a podcast, I can come and speak on our podcast. You can do the same. If you guys do some webinars, we can. So in other words, I give them like an outline what I can do for you, and if you want, you can return the favor. So in other words, I'm offering the same terms to everybody, but this is where kind of identify who is a good partner. If you're giving value to somebody and they're not taking that, they don't either have the time, they don't want, or whatever reason. So you just move to the next one. But to make sure that it works, you need to offer the same terms to everybody, and based on the results that you get from those guys, that's how I identify who is a better partner. And then of course you can do more stuff. You can do like dedicated email blast, you can do like call selling, like referral swap. So to make it easier, do the same with everybody, and based on the results that you get, you kind of identify, which works, which doesn't work. And because it can evolve to like a business partnership, it can evolve to like a white label partnership for the sales guys. So, and that's what is my advice. So don't give up. You need to meet at least like 100 people to decide if the partnership works. Another thing which is important, it depends on who is running the partnership. When you meet with the founder of a company and talk partnership, don't offer them commission, because commission is money. You're gonna pay them whatever. That's it. Everybody wants clients. So you should be willing to do some kind of promotion on your end if they're willing to do that. Because if you start with the commission stuff, any founder is gonna say, I don't care about commission, I won't get more clients. So the commission and affiliate stuff is good only if you want to set a partnership with the so-called influencers, people who have like a newsletter, like a YouTube channel, people who monetize their content. So those guys would be happy to promote you for a kickback. But if they're a business owner, like you, for example, you guys are an agency, if you talk with a SaaS company, want to meet brands, they're gonna say, okay, man, how can you introduce us to brands which can use our software? That would be more valuable for them compared to giving them a commission.
Yeah, it makes sense. Basically, then you've got a really kind of defined structure. You have your list of things that you'll do and what you expect from your partners. And then you kind of go out and you kind of pick up as many partners as you can basically get and just kind of repeat the same patterns.
Yeah, I mean, I met like 2,000 people in the space, like founders, like partner managers like you, and we never stop. Some people tell me, yeah, we have enough partners. Okay, I'll give you an example. We have a big partner, we work with Amazon. Okay, what happens if Amazon decides to stop partnering with you tomorrow? Okay, you fall from the tree, you're down. So the more is better, because any new partner that you meet, they might turn into a very good partner. So if you stop, okay, it's like you stop learning. You never stop learning, because life, business, it always changes. So you need to always add new stuff. For example, okay, like a few years ago, there was no AI. So you're all good. AI comes in and you say, okay, I don't need AI, I'm doing good. Okay. So all your competitors are going to implement AI, they're going to be better. So the same with partnership. You always need to meet new people, because there's always somebody who might come with a revolutionary solution which can help you on the operational side. And also you can find a partner who is very proactive and who's going to do some stuff which you can get some business development, like getting some clients, getting some stuff. So very active person. Not everybody is like you. We've met, I think, a few months ago, and we've done plenty of stuff already. With some people we met, we kind of found some stuff, nothing never happened. So, and we kind of push that. So partnership is not about waiting, it's about being proactive, which means that I send them the list, okay, that's what we're going to do. Then I follow up, up with them eventually. And that's what my team is doing for our clients. We take their whole partner system and we kind of push it. For example, you see the webinar. We have the webinar tomorrow. How does it work? Like speakers, now you speak, you need to promote. Sponsors, you pay, you don't need to promote. Speakers, what they do every week. Happy Monday, guys. Here are the promotion steps for this week. Then I go and individually every one of those who haven't done the step. If they don't do the promotion, I put you on the red list. I'm not gonna invite you anymore. I'm not gonna do stuff. I'm not gonna recommend you. So it's really simple stuff. There is no money involved. It's simple effort and collaboration. And of course, connections. No, if you're unreliable, we're not gonna recommend you. If you're proactive, you're going to be recommended more and more. And that's how it works in partnership.
Yeah, it's really cool. And yeah, like I said, it's been amazing being part of the community, the partnership community, seeing the positive conversations every day. It's quite difficult to keep up sometimes, but as a general rule, everything that goes into that WhatsApp group is really kind of productive. You can just see that everybody that's in there really wants to kind of work with other people and just kind of help each other, which is awesome. With regards to like actually going out and sourcing partners, what's your strategy for that?
Probably the easiest way to do that is the link. For example, whatever you're looking for, you can just go and search keywords. You can type like, if you're looking for agencies, Amazon agency founder, you're going to pull you like a list of ton of founders. So what to do? You go there, hey, and I'm running this company. I think we're a good fit for a partner, come and speak on my podcast. So don't sell them. Don't tell them partnership. So the best pitch to convert somebody as a partner and invite them to come and speak on your show. If you try to sell them or if you want to do partnership, they're going to say, okay, yeah, we have partners, or no, we don't need what you guys do. And then what happens? No. If you tell them, okay, come and speak on my podcast, they're not going to say no. Very unlikely. And one pitch, I'm doing that because, we have a service where we organize webinars, podcasts for people. Whenever you have a podcast, I'm not sure, probably might guys do it later on when you do the video, but you should always do like a short 31-minute demo of what you do. In this case, let's say you invite a founder who you think is a partner. That might be good for a sales, for a business partnership. At the beginning of the call, hey guys, this is my podcast. Here I have this guest, which I found on LinkedIn. He's the founder of this biggest agency. They're doing this and that. And then say, but we're this company, we do this and that, we help agencies with analytics. But so in other words, you just guys podcast is a sales partnership call and people don't say no. So this is the easiest way to do partnership. Of course, you can do the straightforward approach. Hey man, we do this kind of service. I think we're good partners. We have a newsletter at 5,000. We have do this. We can do that for partners. And of course, people who have some brains, they're going to say, okay, man, that's a good opportunity. Let's have a chat. And just from there, of course, you can also target partner managers. If you want to do more target approach, you can just go to Crossfire, AMZ Innovate, Accelerate. I'm not sure if they share the sponsors or exhibitors there, but you can pull the list of those guys. You can see who is in the industry. You don't need to go to events. You can just pull the list. You find them on LinkedIn, go and message them. That's what we've been doing, by the way. Every month I meet probably 30, 40 new people. We do stuff with them. So we kind of have the same approach, And of course we get some inbounds, but it's pretty straightforward outbound stuff. You meet people, offer them some terms, and many of them actually turn into partners, clients, sponsors. And that's why my community is totally different. And I give value to people. Eventually, some of them become clients. And I'm never selling anything officially. This is the cool thing. In partnership, in my opinion, is like psychology. If I tell, okay, man, do you want to promote my company? We're going to give you commission. We're going to do that. And I say, okay, no, man. But then I say, okay, man, no, Aunt, I'm going to do this and this and this and this for that. So I do some favors. And then the psychology kicks in. If you don't know that, if you're obligated. So next time I say, hey, man, what do you think about that? No, you're more likely to say yes. And that's what I tend to see working in the partnership. I haven't invented that. People were talking about, this is the best way to sell. Give value to people, we turn into partner. And I'll give you an example. One of my clients, HelloTax, we do the VAT components in here. And there is a lot of competitors. I think you guys work with one of our competitors. Don't do anything for partners. They expect that you guys refer them business to do the VAT and they don't do anything in return. I tell them, okay, and I speak, let's say with the partner. I tell, okay, you work with company B. How many referrals have they sent to you? How they call it the war in the UK? Was it Bannister? Okay, that's a Bannister question or a word question. I know the answer. 0. And I said, okay, 0. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what happens if I promote you in our newsletter? If I have you as a speaker on the webinar, would you be willing to send those referrals to us for VAT? Oh yeah, of course, man. I'm not getting anything from those guys. So it's that simple,
Yeah, that's going to be my next question was if you've got 3 or 4 partners at the same level, obviously we're an Amazon agency. There's thousands of Amazon agencies out there. If you've got a lead that comes in, what's your kind of way to work out which partner's the best fit for that that particular client? Or is it more like you say, well, actually, these guys have been really proactive and really supported me, so I'm going to give this lead to them?
Of course, I mean, the people who send you the most, you're gonna get the most. So let's say you have like 10 partners who do logistics. One guy sending us like 50 leads. If I get a lead, I'm gonna send it to them. It's simple as that. So it's like reciprocity. I mean, expect, the more you give, the more you should expect. That's the advice that I give a lot of people that I meet. I tell them, okay, Anton, you have 20 partners now. Go and check how many referrals you got from those guys. Also, cross-check how many referrals you send those guys. So you're gonna see a lot of mismatches. For example, you send 20 guys to this guy, they never did anything. So what I will do, and I want to advise people to go to these guys and tell them, hey man, we've sent you like 20 referrals. I don't care if you close them or not. That's not the question, but we've got 0 from you. So what can you do for us? Because if you don't, we just got approached by, I'm just making up some stuff, but sales guys, they make up stuff all the time. I just spoke with your competitors. They told me that they're willing to send business to us if we switch to them. So it's no brainer, man. If you don't start sending referrals, we're gonna switch. And they're gonna say, oh, but we're better, man. Oh, but it's not better than the other guys. I mean, everybody says, I've never met a company who told me they suck and their words are the other guys. Everybody is the best. So judge them based on what they do for you. Now, of course, if somebody's terrible, you don't want to send clients to them, but as a rule of thumb, for every service that is provided, there is multiple people who do that. If they kind of provide equal service, so the next thing that we're going to check is how much business you get from them. And that's how you grow partnership. You don't grow partnerships by just sending business to partners and getting nothing in return. Unless they're unique, because there are some guys who are unique and everybody want to use them, but there are very few of those who are kind of like unique that you don't want anything big from them.
No, yeah, I agree. So it's basically like the groundwork, isn't it? Putting in the groundwork at the start. Don't expect people to refer you stuff when you're not putting in any kind of groundwork for them, and just making sure that everything's kind of reciprocal, in that if there is an opportunity where you can kind of promote a partner, ensure that that happens, and then expect something back when the time's right. Have you ever entered into a partnership where it's naturally quite a one-way partnership? There might be a business that could very well refer you lots of business, but the way that their business model is and what they do, it's really difficult for you to then refer back.
Yeah, I mean, there are some guys who prefer just to refer, they don't care about. Some companies, they prefer to make a refer to somebody who is a great partner if they take good care of their clients. They don't care about commission, they don't want anything from you, because that's very important. I'll give you an example. Like VAT is probably one of those sometimes, because you have a client now, they're a big USA brand. They do 10 millions in the USA. If they expand to Europe, you guys are gonna do 2-3 millions for them in UK, EU. If you send them to a shitty VAT compliance partner and then they give up on the expansion, you're gonna be losing a lot of money from that. So sometimes if the partner doesn't do the work which is gonna benefit your company financially, even if they send a lot of referrals, I mean, you should better look for alternatives. It depends exactly, one size fits all. But as a general thing, if you're happy with them and if you send their business, they are a ideal partner. But if they don't and you send them referrals, that's why I was saying that you need to have multiple partners, because you should have multiple alternatives. So let's say for whatever reason, one of your partners now they start delivering bad service and you don't have an alternative, so you're in trouble. So that's why you need to meet people all the time, so you have more alternatives, because stuff happens. I mean, people, their service deteriorates. I mean, they sell the company and all this kind of stuff. So it's always good to have multiple partners for anything that you might need. You can do more stuff. And of course, some people are like very good in providing service, but they don't have such a big list of clients, so they cannot do that many referrals. So having more is always better. And of course, evaluating based on how you work with them.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is a tricky environment. I really like what you say, basically go for volume, make sure that you're offering something out, and then just kind of work on that kind of consistent basis. With regards to how often would you check in with a partner? So is it like a monthly thing with your kind of your newsletter placements and the webinars, etc.? Is that something that you would try to kind of do on a regular basis, or is it like this is where we start and then we'll see kind of where we go from there?
Yeah, the initial phase, it's like a test period, like a trial. How you respond to stuff, because I'll give an example. I do some stuff and you never respond. I follow up, you never respond. Okay, I'm not gonna waste time with you. We meet new people. Of course, people that we do a lot of stuff, we keep on doing more and more stuff. We do more webinars, we do more swaps. So I'll give an example. Let's say you meet a partner. They come to speak on your podcast, you do the same. You got some feedback from that, then you put them in your newsletter, you do the same. You guys get some leads, they get some leads. Okay, we need to repeat that. So the initial steps are like an evaluation period. And based on that, you kind of decide where we go. Let's say you do something for them, they don't do it for you. They don't respond, they drag and say, okay, man. So eventually drop them. And then of course, people that tend to work well, you kind of do more stuff. You can say, hey man, let's do a call, let's do some referral swap. So after the initial phase, if stuff works, we actually build a software which help you to do referral swaps. But of course, it's really simple. So let's let's say you guys sitting together with a partnership. For example, I think I connect with Merchant Spring. I'm giving them an example because that's what they do. You sit together and they say, hey man, and here's a list of 20 brands that I know which we can introduce to you. Who do you want to meet? And you go at the Excel sheet or Google sheet and you say, okay, I want to meet 10 of those partners. And what they do, hey, brand owner name, please meet Anne. They're from Horizon Marketing. They do this and that, have a chat. Agencies, like I said, there are thousands of them. Not all of them are great. So if they're with a not so great agency and they tell them, okay, and they work with 2,000 brands, they're doing, okay, man, these guys know what they're doing. Let's have a chat with them because we're not happy with my guys. So that's what we call proactive referral. Somebody who doesn't know that you exist is being introduced to you by somebody who knows them already. And what do you do in return? You share a list of your clients, Merchant Spring, for example, I'm giving them an example. They pick who they want to meet, you make introductions. So this is probably one of the best way how to have a very strong partnership, because you don't wait for leads to come, because sometimes they never come. Some companies don't have like newsletters, they don't do webinars. So the only way that they can do partnership is by proactively making introductions. And somebody's gonna say, okay, but I don't want to bother my client. That's actually feedback from me. I've actually found it like 4 businesses which make me money just by doing casual interactions to people who don't know each other. That's not a bad thing. That's very often it's a good thing. You'll be surprised how often you make an introduction to a partner and the person that you're interested in say, hey, no man, thanks for introduction. We just needed that. For example, I think I met an old partner of mine who used to work at Carbon 6. Now they work at Refront Hawk. And what he said, hey man, thanks for introduction. We're just looking for this partner. So I didn't know that you guys don't have a partner. I met those guys. I know that he's cool and they do some cool stuff. And I said, okay, I'm going to connect you guys. I had no clue if you need him. But what happened? Kind of we're looking for a partner. So the same with partners. No, you're scared to refer clients to other partners, but you'll be surprised how often they need that. So let's say you have a client who is a big seller, like a big company. It's very likely they have issues with like brand protection, stealing like resellers. So if you meet a partner who does brand protection, it would be actually very good things. Hey, I'm not sure if you guys had issues with that, but those guys who are doing brand protection, they might come handy. So what happens? Make the introduction, they get interested. Okay, and they figure out that there's like 30 resellers that they don't know about who are actually stealing. They're actually losing money from those guys. So actually doing them a favor and know when to make those interactions. So, and if somebody doesn't like them, they're going to say, okay, man, don't make introduction. Of course, man, if you don't want them, don't. But I had very, very few people from the people that I've met who said, Nick, don't make introductions, don't connect with people.
Yeah. With such a big pool of partners, how do you keep track of what kind of interactions you're having with each of those partners? And B, what are their services? Is there a database that you collect all that information in?
Yeah, we have all information. We have like a CRM with like partnership by type, what they do. We have like a partnership hub, So I have everything in my head, but even if I forget something, I just go to my CRM and I just search. And that's why I set up the WhatsApp group, by the way, because people kept on asking me all the time, hey Nick, do you know this? Do you know that? Okay, man, don't have time to respond to everybody. By the way, I didn't use WhatsApp until last year, so it might surprise you because of the group, but everybody was telling me, hey Nick, let's connect on WhatsApp. And I said, okay, man, WhatsApp with WhatsApp, everybody's asking for that. And I just go and Google it because I had no clue. I think it says like 3 billion users. Okay, man, that's a lot. I didn't know that there's how many. I said, okay, I'm gonna set up WhatsApp, and I just joined some WhatsApp group of people that I know, and I saw that what's the issue with most WhatsApp group, in my opinion. A lot of people, one or few admins, they're only allowed to post, nobody's allowed to do anything. I said, okay, man, that's kind of boring. It's like a room like in the university, only the professor is speaking and nobody's allowed to do anything. That's boring. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do a group. I'm gonna add my partners and new partners that I meet. I'm gonna have no rules. So you guys can post, you can engage now. And as you see, I'm not telling anybody. I've only kicked out probably like 2 guys from, we have close to 700 in the group. And without rules, you just need to filter the people that you led in the group. And if you filter them, what I'm telling everybody when you join, I'm not sure if you remember, hey Ant, welcome to the group. I don't have any rules in the group. You're smart people, you should know what to do. So in other words, people should know how to behave. It tends to work well. Like freedom is a good thing. People can engage. If anybody's asking for anything, what they do, hey, those guys can help out. Or if I'm tired, I don't want to check them out. They say, okay, peeps, just pitch yourself. Just if you're offering this service, no. So it works well.
It's quite mad. I'm a member of loads and loads and loads of WhatsApp groups, whether it's to do with us or whatever else. And a lot of the information that goes into these WhatsApp groups gets like at best skimmed over. You kind of just skim read it, but actually it's really, really active. Sometimes I'm waking up in the morning to like 40 messages. Actually, it's like there's so much value to it that I know that if I kind of read the 40 messages, it's either going to make me laugh because there's some quite funny stuff in there, but mainly people looking for information that perhaps I I'm looking for as well, or something that I can answer. People that are looking for services of some description or advice, which other people can help with, or it's about opportunities. I've got this opportunity. Is anybody interested? And it makes it really, the balance is really good between those things, because sometimes it can be just too many jokes and stuff. And as good as it is, you don't always get time to read everything. I think I really like the balance. I think the fact that you've got no rules and people are just sensible with it, I think it works really well. And I think it's a great idea. And did you say you've got like 700 people in that group?
Yeah, I think there's 680 or 90. So soon you're going to be 700. And also, it's only people that they meet. So people message me, hey, Nick, this guy would be great for the group. And it's okay, man, make an introduction. So if you don't meet me, I'm not going to join the group. If I don't like you, I'm not going to invite you. Simple as that. So I kind of filter everybody. I don't just add anybody, because I mean, if I don't know, you're not joining. Even people who say, man, can you add people from my team? No, man. One few guys from a company is enough. It's simple as that.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Last question for me, because I know you're a busy man. How important, or do you use kind of white labeling? Because it's something that always gets brought up in partnership conversations. I can definitely see the value in it. Also, part of me wonders whether it's an awful lot of work for what could potentially be little reward. What are your kind of thoughts on white labeling? It
depends. I think it's a great service because I've been teaching many of my clients to do white labeling. I advise them and I'll tell why. You have an agency. There is a lot of agencies who do only PPC. The more agencies who do PPC, the less special you are. So let's say you start doing full service. Okay, now you do the full package. Then you do creative stuff. You don't need to build to hire a creative team. You can easily outsource that to a very good creative agency. So you white label the service, they do their work, but you kind of become more valuable, less likely for your clients to churn if you provide more service. So let's say you want to focus on expanding clients to Europe from the USA. What you will need VAT, product compliance, logistics. Option 1, you get a client, you tell them, chat with partner A, partner B, partner 3. Once always done, you're going to take over your marketing. A lot of times they got tools, they don't do that. So if I white label, like kind of the VAT, we don't do the work, but package that and white label it behind the scenes. So in this case, you come like as an expansion partner. The client comes to you, I'm going to help out with the VAT, we're going to do the product compliance, we're going to do logistics. In other words, you're so valuable for those guys, they don't want to go for another agency because they go to agency B, they do PPC, set up all the bullshit, all the compliance, then you come back. Oh, I'm going to go with somebody who is providing me the full package. So white labeling is good because it allows you to offer more services without building those, because you're not going to spend millions to build like a compliance SaaS or like a tax agent. So white label those, you're going to become like a unique part, and then clients are going to stick around, because let's say the client is unhappy with part of your service and they want to leave. Okay, but then they need to find a new VAT compliance. So that's how I see things. The more stuff you offer, less likely for people to leave, because they need to find multiple parts, and that's hard. I think you add value to your offering without kind of hiring more people, just by using partners, who do the work.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of my thought process. I guess there's always a bit of nervousness around putting your name to somebody else's service. So it needs to be with a business that you really kind of trusted and that perhaps you've worked with in the past, I guess.
Yeah, probably no sort of team traffic. And so that's why probably you start with just referral stuff. You work with somebody, you see that you're happy, and then you say, you know what, let's just bundle that into a package. And that's what we do for Hello Tax, by the way, for our clients. So when somebody comes to us and they want to expand, we tell them, okay, first you need VAT, then you need product compliance, then you need logistics, translation. So you need 4 things. So we kind of tell them, okay, that's how it's going to work. That's what we're going to do. But we work with those guys for a long time. In other words, we make it easier for them. We don't tell them, okay, go and figure this out, come back when you're ready. So people appreciate when you give them complete solutions and when you guide them, that you're doing the extra effort. And a lot of times and I'll give you an example which is very good. Even if you cannot help out, let's say a brand comes to you and for whatever reason, they're not fit for you. You don't tell them, okay, man, you're not good fit, goodbye. You tell them, what, you're not good fit for us, but guess what? We have this small agency partner who is going to help out. And even though you turn them down, which because they're not good fit for you, which I'm sure it happens, they're going to leave with the thinking that, okay, those guys, they were not good fit. No, I didn't like that. But guess what? They connect me with those guys. It worked out well. And then we're going to tell 5 of their friends who also have brands, for example, that those guys help me out. And their friends might be big 8-figure sellers, which would be good fit for you. So even if you cannot help out, try to do something for your lead or partner, whatever, and they're going to appreciate that. Just ignore them. It's not going to work well for you.
It makes perfect sense. And it kind of opens up almost competitor partnerships as well, which are something that I've always been quite interested in, because because like I said, there's hundreds and hundreds of, well, thousands of different agencies out there. When I kind of work and speak to different agencies, that they specialize in different areas, it's a particular niche product that we don't have any experience in. And I think it's really important from our perspective, from Horizon's perspective, we offer a deal where we basically say that we can increase your Amazon sales by 20% in 90 days. And if we don't, we'll refund you any money that you've paid us within that 90 days. Basically means is that every single client that we work with, 100% confident that we can have a really big impact on their sales. Otherwise, we don't want to kind of work with that business, if that makes sense. So
exactly, you're wasting money, if you take a business which you're not confident. So you're kind of wasting your time. Nobody want to do that. I mean,
but the other thing that opens up is we might look at a particular client and say, look, this doesn't really sit within our expertise. Like, we don't feel confident that we have the expertise to drive your business as much as you need it to. But there might be another agency that we work with that do specialize in that might specialize in that particular product, or it might be that they've got a really low PPC budget or something along those lines where we don't feel we can have the impact, but we could pass them across to what we normally consider a competitor. But I really kind of like that way of work. Again, that's worked for me in the past as well.
Yeah, I mean, even competitors are actually good fortunes. I mean, so some people say, no, I'm not going to chat with those. So encourage everybody to chat even with their competitors. Sometimes competitors turn out to be the best partners. We've had that in the past because somebody might be competitor on the outside. Let's say, if you're like a SaaS, like service company, they might not have the SaaS behind the scenes. So they can say, you know what, can we use your SaaS? And I had a call with one competitor for one of my clients last week who was suggesting that. So this happens all the time. So my advice, don't make assumptions, chat with everybody. And then based on the outcome, then you evaluate.
Yeah, 100%. Nick, it's been absolutely incredible speaking to you. Just as a parting piece, if there are businesses out there that aren't partnered with you, aren't part of your partnership program, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
You can message me on LinkedIn, Nick Penev, like my name, probably guys see, or you can just message me at one of my emails, which is np, like my initials, at hellotax.com, and we can chat partnerships. So as simple as that.
Perfect. Nick, it's been amazing speaking to you. I really appreciate
everyone.
From the partnership perspective, it's been amazing working with you, and I encourage anyone out there that's not already working with Nick just to get in touch and see what you can do. Really looking forward to the hack series, which is tomorrow night. So really looking forward to that, and I'll speak to you again then. Thank you, Nick.
See you then, and bye for now.